What is up, all of my horror fanatics out there? Welcome back to Late Night Frights. I'm the Late Night Frights horror leader, the J. Sloan or Jordan, back here to do another video for you. And as always, guys, I want to thank everyone for tuning in this evening. Now, last week we did horror battles, and if you haven't checked that out, please go do so. It was a good week overall. Everyone did really good videos and had interesting battles throughout the week. So, like I said, if you haven't checked it out, go do so before watching this video. So, yeah, so last week was horror battles. This week we are doing a theme, and the theme we chose to do for you is one that we have never done here on Late Night Frights before. It's something a little different, and we're doing our Neo Monsters theme. Now, what that is, it is a subgenre in horror. Basically, it's a monsters theme, but Neo Monsters, flesh-eating monsters, films such as the one I'm about to review, Tremors, The Descent. A lot of movies can be put into this classification. I mean, even as far as John Carpenter's The Thing, which is more of an alien film, but still is a monster movie. You've got so many movies, and a lot of movies that people will be reviewing this week for the theme, so stay tuned for that. But today, I have decided to review a film from 1988, and it is Pumpkinhead.
Be all right. Should I be afraid? It's coming!
Looking for an old woman. She lives somewhere in the mountains hereabouts.
All she can do is take you straight to hell. You go home and you bury your boy.
Some folks say as how she's got powers.
Who are you?
Ed Hardy.
What do you want, Ed Hardy? Say it. You're looking for vengeance. Say it. There's no graveyard way back deep in them woods. The thing you're looking for is in there. It was an accident.
Okay, so like I said, Pumpkinhead was made in 1988. This was directed by Stan Winston, starring Lance Hendrickson, Jeff East, Joe Hoffman, and Kerry Remsen. And now that you have seen the trailer for this film, I'm going to go ahead and dive into my review. I'm going to review the film very briefly and then give my final thoughts over it at the end of the video. And I'm going to try to go through this, this review like I always do and like all of our members do, giving as few spoilers as possible to help explain the plot. We do not like to spoil the film for you. We like you to have a fresh experience with the films that we are either reviewing or battling. So let's dive into Pumpkinhead. So Pumpkinhead follows a character named Ed Harley, who is played really darkly, I guess you could say, and really has a sympathy to him and this human emotion played by Lance Hendrickson. And it basically, like I said, Ed Harley has his son. They seem like a couple of normal country. He seems like a country boy, really, just trying to raise his son and do everything right by his son. And that's what seems to be his main motive within the film. Some out-of-towners come in, some kids, you could really call them kids, although they could be, teenagers, young adults, whatever, come in, and they're just reckless. They don't give a damn about anybody but themselves. They have dirt bikes with them, and they begin to ride the dirt bikes around carelessly. Now, while doing this, Ed Harley is gone, leaving his son there. He doesn't think anything bad's going to happen, but unknowingly his son gets hit by the dirt bike, by one of the kids, and gets killed. It kills his son, and the kids leave. They leave his son there, and it's just it's horrifying to watch Lance Hendrickson come back and find his son dead, and that pain in his eyes. You can really see that. I'm not a father myself, but I know that if I was, that would be the most difficult thing to ever have to deal with, is losing a child. It would devastate anyone. Seeing this, Lance Hendrickson is pissed. Not just only that his son is dead, but pissed that they left his son there. Some of the kids actually did try to help. In their defense, some of the kids tried to help, and I will say that. But they pretty much left his son there to die. So what Lance Hendrickson does is pretty much takes his son to she is a witch pretty much. He takes his son to her, hoping that she can bring him back to life, and instead she says that she can pretty much raise some sort of a demon from the dead, which is Pumpkinhead the creature, to pretty much seek vengeance on his bloodlust and kill, pretty much take care of the situation that he can't, with all these kids. And he agrees to it. And the Pumpkinhead comes to life. This devilish creature comes to life and begins to kill these teens off one by one. What happens? I don't want to spoil anything else. That's a basic plot around it. And yeah, that's my review over Pumpkinhead. Now let's talk a little bit about the acting, the directing, everything within it, the style of the film. With acting, you have a great cast. Lance Hendrickson, who has been in tons of films, got a really great track record. You have Jeff East, Joe Hoffman, Kerry Remsen, like I stated before, also having Stan Winston direct this film. Really good director, did a great job with this material, with what he was given to do. Really cool story. I really enjoyed the story, and like I said before, having Lance Hendrickson play Ed Harley and seeing his son dead, that's the biggest blow ever. Watching him have to carry his son up the hill, his dead son, is just devastating. I felt for the guy, I really did, and I felt his acting. I love Lance Hendrickson, everything he's been in. Really enjoyed his work in Near Dark, and everything he's been in prior and after that film and this film. Really good actor. So that I love the film, love the story. The story was great. The Pumpkinhead was very, very crazy. That's another thing I think we should talk about is the effects. The effects for the Pumpkinhead were awesome. This thing looked mean as shit. You would definitely not want to get in the way of the Pumpkinhead. There's actually an opening scene with the Pumpkinhead. I don't want to spoil what goes on in that scene or who it involves, but I will say that I do believe, from what I remember, Dick Warlock is actually in that scene, which is really cool. Has a little part in there. But yeah, the kids likable? Some of them were, like I said before. Some of the kids who tried to actually save his son were likable characters. There was a couple douchebags. One specifically, the one that hit his son, was an asshole. I just couldn't wait to see him get killed. Which you're going to have that within each horror film. And yeah, the effects were good. Pumpkinhead was mean as shit. Had really, really good and scary look to him. Acting was good. Directing was good. And I really liked the vibe. I really liked the film style. I liked the different shots. There was different colors and different shots, and I liked that. It felt very Octoberish. Had a really nice feel to it. I really like it when a film can do that. When a film can change its style up, change everything about it, and make it just a really, I don't know the exact words. I have it in my mind, but I can't get it out. A darkly colorful film, if that makes any sense. It just had such a dark atmosphere to it, but it was so colorful in the same sense. If that makes any sense to anyone out there. Good horror film, really good 80s horror film. Fun, cheesy, emotional, dramatic, everything you want in a horror flick, and had really good acting from some cast members. Some of them just kind of overplayed the role a little bit. I mean, of course, having Lance Hendrickson in there, it's going to be good. Had some cool jump scares in there, really cool kills, and badass creature, Pumpkinhead. So that is my review over Pumpkinhead for our Neo Monsters theme. Definitely, guys, my final thoughts over this film. Give it a watch if you haven't already. Great 80s horror film. Definitely give this edition a pick up. Scream Factory always, gives a film the perfect treatment it deserves. Lots of special features, loads and loads. So yeah, definitely pick it up. If I had to rate it out of 5, I'm gonna go 3.8 out of 5. Really liked it. Thought it was a really awesome horror film. I haven't seen the sequels. I want to. I've heard good and bad things. Please comment down below and tell me what you think of the sequels if you've seen them. Comment down below and tell me what you think of the original. What do you think of Pumpkinhead? I'm really curious to hear what everyone's opinions on this film are. I'm the Jay Sloan. You just watched Late Night Frights. Comment, subscribe. Stay tuned, guys. Throughout this week, all of our members will be reviewing a Neo Monsters film of their choice, and that will continue with Chris Brock tomorrow. I'm the Jay Sloan. Once again, you just watched Late Night Frights. Comment, subscribe, and as always, guys, keep it horror. Peace.